Hello everyone. Today we are doing limits. It is from class 11. It is of CBSE board, ISC board and West Bengal board. Now what is limit? Limit is the fundamental of calculus. Limit is used when we have to find values of a function in the neighborhood of some specific points. To explain this, I am taking one example. First I have taken one circle, and inside this circle I am trying to draw some polygons. First I have taken one triangle. We can see with this triangle some area of the circle is covered with this triangle. Next I am increasing here number of sides are 3 because it is a triangle. Next I am taking one quadrilateral. For that number of sides will be equal to 4, and we can see whenever we are increasing number of sides, then more area of the circle is covered. Next I am taking one hexagon which is n equals to 6, and here more area than these two are covered. Next, in this way continuously I am increasing the number of sides. Ultimately we can see whenever we are increasing the number of sides, the more area is covered of the circle. That means if number of side I am increasing up to infinite, then this polygon will almost cover the circle. That means this polygon will be, area of this polygon will be near the area of the circle. That means the limiting value, this polygon will be up to the area of the circle. Of fx is equal to x square minus 4 by x minus 2 at nearby values of x equals to 2. Now I have taken one number line, and here this point, this middle point I am taking as 2 because values, limiting value is x equals to 2. That's why we are taking here 2. Now approaching from the left, if we take here it as 1.9, this is the, from the left hand side we can plot in this way, and from the right hand in the right hand side we can take 2.1, 2.01 in this way. Now from first I am starting with the from the left. At x equals to 1.9 we will calculate values of fx. That means we'll put 1.9 in the place of x here, and then if we calculate we will get fx is equal to 3.9. Easily you can calculate. Next, at x equals to 1.99, next point which is more closer to 2, fx will be 3.99, and in this way x equals to 1.999, that is answer will be 3.999. Then x equals to 1.9999, and then for fx will be 3.9999. In this way, if you are taking more closer point to 2, we can check fx is moving closer to 4. That means as we are moving closer to 2, from the left hand side of 2, fx is moving closer to 4. Next, for the right hand side I am taking x as 2.1. Then if we calculate from here fx equals to x square minus 4 by x minus 2, we can get here 4.1. Next 2.01 we will get 4.01. Next 2.001 will get 4.001. Similarly for these 2 points also. That means as we are moving closer to x equals to 2 from the right hand side of 2, fx is moving closer to 4. Here we can write in this way. For left hand limit we are writing limit in this way, limit limit of fx at x equals to x tends to 2 minus, this is the left hand side, we can write it in this way, LHL, left hand limit. And for the right hand limit we can write limit of fx x tends to 2 plus, this we can write it as RHL, that is right hand limit. And if these two limits are equal, that is RHL is equal to LHL is equal to RHL, then we can say limit exists. Another thing, if we have to calculate limiting point, then that limiting point should be finite, okay, and then LHL and RHL should be equal, then we can calculate limiting point. Here I am taking one graph to explain the limit. Here I have taken this graph, and this limiting point I am taking as 2. At x we have to check whether limit exists or not at a. That means we need to take some value which is less than a, that means nearer to a, that is x less than a, and some values of x greater than a. From this side we can check this. These are the left hand limit, and left hand limit we can write it as limit x tends to a minus, limit of fx x tends to a minus is equal to L. We are taking it as L here. And for the right hand side, limit will be limit of fx x tends to a plus, it is also a. Since these two are equal, we can say that in this at a limit exists. At this point limit exists. Now one important point is here, if left hand limit, we know that if left hand limit is equal to right hand limit, then limit exists, okay. Here I am taking one limit, left hand limit, that is x tends to some a minus limit of fx is equal to infinite. Next right hand limit I am taking it as limit of fx at x tends to a plus, it is also infinite. Since both are equal, can we say these limit exists, that is LHL is equal to RHL, that's why limit exists? No, because this number is infinite number, and the condition of LHL is equal to RHL whenever, if these are finite value, then we can say limit exists, otherwise it will not exist. That means it should be finite value, it should be finite. Next, some indeterminate form. Now what is indeterminate form? In the name it is already written indeterminate, that means what we cannot determine, that form. Here 7 indeterminate forms are there. First one is 0 by 0, infinite by infinite, infinite minus infinite, infinite into 0, 0 to the power 0, infinite to the power 0, and 1 to the power infinite. Now these two we can understand, that is 0 by 0, it will be always indeterminate, we cannot determine, and here it is also we cannot determine. But what about infinite minus infinite? It should be 0. Normally in any number, if we subtract from that number, it coming 0. But here, since we cannot determine particular number, what particular number is this, therefore this should not be equal to 0. It will be indeterminate form. Next, for infinite into 0. Normally we know whenever we are multiplying 0 with some number, then it comes 0. But for infinite it is not 0, because whenever this rule is applicable only for finite value, only for finite number, not infinite number. That's why infinite into 0 will not be equal to 0. Next, 0 to the power 0. As we know, any number 1 to the power 0 is 1, 2 to the power 0 is 1, any number is whose power is 0, it will be 1, but not for 0, and here also the rule is it should be non-zero. Therefore infinite 0 to the power 0 is not equal to 1. Next, same thing for infinite to the power 0, and 1 to the power infinite. Normally we know whenever we are multiplying 1 into 1 into 1 into 1, that means here 1 to the power 4 equals to 1, 1 to the power 5 equals to 1. And if we are multiplying 1 up to n times, that is 1 to the power n, that is also we are writing 1. But we cannot write 1 to the power infinite is equal to 1, because we doesn't know the number, what kind of number is this. This is not finite, that's why it is also indeterminate form. Here we can check some limit which is in the indeterminate form, and so we cannot determine these value in their present form. Here some limit is given, and we are telling that this is indeterminate, that's why we cannot determine. Then why we are taking this? I have told that we cannot determine these values in their present form. That means we need to change the form. Before we are calculating limit, we will change the form, then we will calculate limit. Okay. Here we can see limit 1 minus cos x by x square as x tends to 0. If we put here 0 here, then 1 minus cos 0 is 1, that is 1 minus 1 0, and x square, since x is 0, that is also 0, that is 0 by 0 form. Next, for here easily we can see 1 plus 0 whole to the power 1 by 0, that is infinite, that is 1 to the power infinite form, and x tends to infinite, therefore it is infinite by infinite form. All are indeterminate form. That means all the indeterminate form, we need to change their form, present form, then we can calculate their limit. These are some algebraic formulas of limit. Let f and g we have taken as two functions, such that limit of fx as x tends to c is small l, and limit of gx as x tends to c is small m. Then we can write this formula. First one is, if we are calculating with alpha, which is any real number, with the fx, then we can take out alpha here, because it is not a variable. Here x is not included here, therefore easily we can multiply alpha into L. We can multiply in this way, alpha into limit of fx as x tends to c. Next, for if we are adding two functions, that is fx plus gx, then we can separate limits in this form. Limit of fx as x tends to c plus limit of gx as x tends to c, that is equal to L plus m. Same for subtraction, we can separate in this way, limit of fx minus gx as x tends to c, we can separate in this way, limit of fx as x tends to c minus limit of gx as x tends to c will be L minus m. Same for multiplication, we can individually write in this limiting form, then we can write L into m. And for division, as we know always that denominator cannot be 0 for any division rule, that's why here limit of fx as x tends to c by limit of gx as x tends to c will be L by m, provided m not equal to 0. Here same for 1 by fx, limit of 1 by fx as x tends to c. Here we can since 1 here it is 1, it is a constant number, therefore it doesn't have any variable, therefore no need to take limit here, and we are taking directly limit here. Limit of fx as x tends to c will be 1 by L, provided L not equal to 0, because L is the here is the denominator. Next, methods of computing limits. First, we know if the number if any limit is given, first we will put the value directly on the limit, that is called direct substitution method. First we will check this method for any limit. This is the first part. If we are not getting any answer from this direct substitution method, then we will go for the next all the methods, that is factorization method, rationalization method, limits of expression of a standard form. Some standards forms are there, therefore easily we will use some formula here. And next for limits of trigonometric functions. So first we will check for direct substitution method. Now we will solve few problems. Here I have taken one limit which has as x tends to b, as x tends to limit of root x plus root b by x plus b as x tends to b. Here directly we will put the value of x here. Since it is x tends to b, we will write b instead of x. That means root over of b plus root over of b by b plus b, that is 2 root over of b by 2b. If we add, after simplification it will be root over of b by b. Now for the next sum, what we will do here, x tends to minus 1, that means for x we need to write here minus 1, that is 1 plus of minus 1 plus of minus 1 whole square plus of minus 1 whole cube plus dot plus x for x will write minus 1, that is 10. As we know, if the power is even, then it will be plus, and if the power is odd, it will be minus. That means 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. In this way, since it is up to 10, that means it is even number, that's why it will be 1. After that it will cancel and answer will be 1. Next is factorization method. First we will, whatever I have told, whatever limit we will calculate, first we will check whether we can use direct method or not. If it is not direct method, we cannot use direct method, then it must be indeterminate form. So first we will check that as x tends to 3, x square minus 9 x minus 3. So that means for x, if we put here 3, that is 3 square 9 minus 9 by 3 minus 3. That means it is equal of 0 by 0 form. That is directly we cannot put the value over here. Here we can use one technique, that is factorization method. If we can factorize, first we will check what what we can factorize, which term. Here x square minus 9 we can factorize in this way, x minus 3 into x plus 3 by x minus 3. That means these two cancelled, and after this only x plus 3 is there, x plus 3. That means if we put 3 here, 3 plus 3, answer will be 6. This is the process. Next, again for this sum, first we will put 2 here, and if we put x cube, that means 2 cube, that is 8, minus 2 into 4, that is also 8. Then it is 4 minus 5 into 2, 10 plus 6, and we can see it is also 0 by 0 form. Therefore directly we cannot put the value. Again we will check for factorization. If we can factorize this, we can take common x square, that is x minus 2, and for here if we factorize, we will get x minus 2 into x minus 3. After doing middle term, easily we can do this. Then x minus 2 cancelled, and limit x tends to 2 is x square by x minus 3. Now for this will be 2 square 4 by 2 minus 3, that answer will be minus 4. Another question, whenever we are cancelling any two number, that is algebraic function, that is x minus 3 by x minus 3, always we are writing x is not equal to 3, otherwise it is invalid. But here we are not writing, because limiting value of x equals to 3 doesn't mean is x equals to 3. Therefore, easily we can cancel this. In this class, today we are doing up to this method, factorization method. In our next class, we will discuss about rationalization method and other methods what we have, that is special form and trigonometric function we will discuss later. And few more examples, that is typical type sum, we will do after second class. Thank you for joining my class.